All right, let's jump straight into this explainer. Think of me as your elite career coach today, because we're going to completely unpack the hidden drivers behind high-stakes interview success. Look, you already know your field, right? You've got the resume, you have the experience, but today we're diving into the underlying mechanics of how you're actually perceived when you walk into that room, or, log into that video call. We're literally breaking down the science of communication so you can take total control of your next big career move.
You know that incredibly frustrating, frankly maddening feeling? You walk out of a job interview absolutely certain you crushed it. You nailed every single technical question, your answers were perfectly articulated, and then a few days later you get that polite little rejection email. Like, what gives, right? Well, it all comes down to what's known as the iceberg model of communication. See, what you're actually saying, those literal words you probably spent hours rehearsing, that's just the tiny tip of the iceberg visible above the water. It's the massive, unseen structure beneath the surface that ultimately sinks or sails your chances.
Okay, let's dive into this. According to the famous 738-55 rule, which was pioneered by psychologist Dr. Albert Mehrabian, a staggering 93% of the impact of your message actually comes from nonverbal cues. Yeah, you heard that right. Only 7% is the actual words you speak, 38% is your vocal tone, and a massive 55% is your body language. To put that into perspective, in a high-pressure interview setting, those beautifully crafted answers of yours account for just a tiny fraction of the overall impression you're leaving behind.
Now hold on a second, we do need to bust a quick myth here. This rule absolutely does not mean you can just sit there and speak utter nonsense as long as you're smiling and standing up straight. That's a huge common misunderstanding. The 738-55 rule specifically applies when people are assessing feelings, attitudes, and this really important concept called incongruence. Basically, incongruence happens when your spoken words and your body language clash. So if you're in a high-pressure interview and you say, "I'm very confident," but your shoulders are totally slumped and your voice is shaking like a leaf, the interviewer's brain is naturally wired to trust those nonverbal cues way more than the literal words you just said.
Okay, so let's move into our first major area, the secrets of body language and where communication usually breaks down. Let's zero in on that massive 55% slice of the pie, your physical cues. There are 5 really common body language mistakes that totally sabotage candidates. We're talking about poor eye contact, fidgeting, crossing your arms, hunching over the table, and failing to mirror the interviewer. Now you might be wondering, why are these so fatal? It's because our brains don't just look at one isolated gesture. They're constantly looking for clusters of nonverbal cues. I mean, if you just cross your arms, maybe you're just cold. But if you combine crossed arms with hunching over and avoiding eye contact, your body is subconsciously screaming anxiety and defensiveness right at the interviewer.
Instead, think about doing this, maintaining an open posture and leaning in just slightly, like maybe 10 degrees. It instantly signals that you are fully engaged. And when you layer in some natural mirroring, where you subtly mimic the interviewer's gestures and posture, it subconsciously builds this incredible rapport. It essentially tells their brain that you're both on the same side. You immediately stop being adversaries sitting across the desk from each other, and you become two professionals just having a great collaborative conversation.
Since poor eye contact is such a massive point of failure, here's a really cool, actionable trick you can start using right away. It's called the inverted triangle technique. Look, staring intensely into someone's eyes without blinking, super creepy. But looking at the floor just makes you look dishonest. So instead, try drawing an imaginary, upside-down triangle between the interviewer's eyes and their mouth. Just naturally shift your gaze between those 3 points every 5 to 10 seconds. It gives you this perfectly balanced, active listening kind of eye contact without making anyone feel awkward or uncomfortable.
All right, let's shift gears and talk about the power of your voice tone, that crucial 38% of the equation.
If your words are the lyrics to your interview answers, your vocal tone is absolutely the music behind those lyrics. You could have the most brilliant answer in the world, but if you deliver it with a meek or hesitant tone, it completely loses its punch. So, let's break down the 4 P's of your voice: pitch, power, pace, and pause. Pitch is all about your affability. When we get nervous, our pitch goes up, which immediately conveys tension. But if you just take a deep breath, you can drop your pitch into a slightly lower, deeper register. It's crazy how much this helps. It's generally seen as more authoritative and way easier to listen to, completely changing how your competence is perceived.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that vocal power is absolutely not about volume. You don't need to shout to be powerful. It's entirely about inflection, emphasizing the right words to convey your true meaning. If you just speak in a flat, boring monotone, the assumption is going to be that you aren't passionate about anything, including yourself. True vocal power is taking a simple sentence like, I led that team, and using your inflection to project real pride and capability without needing to raise your voice one bit.
And then there's the pause. Seriously, the pause is an absolute art form. So many of us are terrified of silence in an interview, so we rush to fill any gap with filler words like ah, or like. But using a strategic pause does two amazing things for you. First, it gives your brain a split second to retrieve the exact right word. And second, it makes you look incredibly thoughtful and composed. Silence projects immense confidence. Don't ever be afraid to just stop and take a breath.
So, bringing this all together, let's talk about perfect alignment. This is where we harmonize that 7% with the 93%.
And this brilliantly illustrates the whole concept. Getting this right is the ultimate goal. Think about delivering the exact same sentence, I am confident in my ability to lead. If you deliver that weakly, with a shaky tone, rounded shoulders, and you're staring at your shoes, there is literally no way the interviewer is going to believe you. But if you have strong alignment, meaning a firm tone, direct eye contact, and you're leaning forward just a bit, that exact same sentence turns into an undeniable fact. Your delivery completely validates your words.
Okay, so how do we actually pull this off when the pressure is on? Let's go over some really practical steps for interview success.
One of the absolutely best things you can do in the moment to guarantee this alignment is just control your speaking pace. Keep in mind, listening is actually a two-step process for the person interviewing you. First, they have to physically hear your words, and then their brain has to translate those sounds into actual meaning. If you're zooming through your answers because you're excited or nervous, you are totally killing their ability to comprehend what you're saying. So, take a deep breath before you start talking. Try to phrase your thoughts in shorter, simpler sentences, and make a conscious effort to speak just a little bit slower than you normally would.
Of course, we have to talk about virtual interviews, right? Because staring at a screen changes the game just a bit. First, get that camera elevated to eye height so you aren't literally looking down your nose at the interviewer. But the absolute golden rule here is you have to look directly at the camera lens, not at the person's face on your monitor. Looking at the lens is the virtual equivalent of looking them right in the eye. A really great trick is to slap a brightly colored sticky note right next to your webcam to anchor your focus. And try to sit back just far enough so your hands are actually visible in the frame. It lets you show off those open, confident hand gestures.
To wrap up the core philosophy of what we're talking about today, there's this great quote by John Ruskin that says, "The essence of lying is in deception, not in words." That really hits the nail on the head for our whole explainer today. At the end of the day, interviewers aren't just processing the raw data you're giving them. They are actively looking for truth, authenticity, and trust. And trust? Well, it's not just found in the bullet points we recite. It's found in how we hold ourselves, the way our voice sounds, and how our physical presence perfectly aligns with the claims we're making.
So I'm going to leave you with one final question to really chew on. You know you've got the skills. You know you have the experience. But does your body language actually reflect your true competence? Before you log on to your next big interview, or while you're sitting in the waiting room, just take one moment to check in on your default habits. Fix your posture, lock in your tone, and make sure that your 93% is telling the exact same incredible story as your 7%. Because honestly, that is exactly how you own the room.